Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 79 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on today. So, yay, I made it to day 79. I don't have a lot to say about today. I don't think I made the best choices today, to be perfectly honest. I was having trouble sleeping, so I got up and did nothing, got something to eat, and then I decided I needed to do something, and instead I took a nap, which was nice. I actually did sleep more in the afternoon than I did at night. The only problem with that is that I stayed up all night because I took a nap. So that didn't work out very well for me, timing wise. I need to not do that. Anyway, I've just been really tired, and I realized that I can do stuff even though I'm tired, and I can't seem to get rid of the tired or sleep, so I may as well just do stuff, which I knew I needed to just do stuff today, and I just didn't. I did read my scriptures and meditationals today. I did do that, and I did write in my journal. So I did do something, but that's about all I did today, which is sad because I've been really productive all week long. But in writing in my journal, I kind of had some realizations. Sometimes I feel like journaling is God's way of giving me revelations as to things that I know I need to do, and realizing that I'm avoiding things, or that as things are changing and getting better, I'm kind of like freaking out because it's different. It's change. It's outside of my comfort zone. It's a good outside of my comfort zone. It's a positive thing, but it's a lot like putting myself out there. And I was thinking about my book, recognizing God's hand in my life, that I need to be writing, or even my fantasy books that I want to get published. And as I was journaling, I was like, it's kind of like letting people read my journals. And I don't even go back and read my own journals. I really cringe at the idea of anybody reading my journals. So it's just it's scary. It's kind of like people knowing my inner thoughts and all of me. And a friend of mine mentioned that my videos look like I'm, back to my old self or whatever. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm my old self so much as I'm just discovering myself, or allowing myself to be myself. Like, I'm not hiding and holding back. I'm just being who I am, and just learning and enjoying myself. But again, I think a lot of times I'm used to hiding who I am. It's my safe place. If I'm perfectly honest, hiding inside myself is my safe place. I mean, part of it's because it's my safe place, and the other part of it's because I never felt like I was good enough. So in letting myself out, I have to see the value in myself. I have to see that I have worth and value, something to actually put out there, and that I'm not going to be shunned or ashamed or whatever it is. And I realized that there's really nothing that horribly, excuse me, nothing horribly wrong that I've done in my life. I've made mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'm so far from perfect. But I mean, I'm not like um, anyway, I haven't done horribly bad things either. I just have a lot of trauma. I have a lot of trust issues. A lot of things for me to overcome, to let go of, to realize that they're not as bad or as scary as I made them out to be. And a lot of the bad, scary things that I think that are bad and scary, aren't, once I share them, once I express them, once I let them go. And I know that, but it's still that process of knowing and internalizing and doing. And to some degree, I've been doing that. To some level, I've been doing that. Um, and then I think sometimes I have these realizations that I'm doing these things, and I was like, it's what I've been working towards. So it's awesome that it's finally working. But then at the same time, it's the realization that I'm doing it, and then it kind of just, freaks me out. It's like people that are afraid of heights, and they're like, climbing up, and as long as they don't look down, they're fine. They're like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm climbing, I'm like halfway to wherever I'm supposed to be, or crossing, one of those rickety bridges and not looking down at the cliffs, but just, looking straight ahead. And then all of a sudden you get halfway there, or 2/3 or whatever it is, and you look down. You're just like, you see how far you are, and you get that whole vertigo thing going, and you just freak out, panic, hold tight to whatever you've got, and you're like, and I can't move. This is me when I I start realizing that I'm making progress, that I'm changing, and I'm like, look how far I've come. This is awesome. This is amazing. And I have that vertigo effect kind of a thing where I'm just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? How did I get here? And I tense and I panic and I freeze and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can't move. So I know my freeze states haven't been as long as they have been in the past, that I'm able to move through them a little bit more quickly. But for whatever reason, I feel like today was one of those freeze states where I knew all the things that I needed to do, all the things that I wanted to do. I knew that I was perfectly capable of doing all of them, and I chose not to do any of them, which is frustrating because I don't have an excuse. There really isn't one. It's just I decided that I was tired, and instead of something to eat or taking a shower or making myself work anyway, I decided to sleep most of my day, and that I kind of wish that I would have slept most of my night too. I keep telling myself I'm going to do that, but the problem is I sleep during the day and then I don't sleep at night. And then, of course, I lay up at night telling myself I just need to go to bed, and then I avoid doing my videos because it means I don't have to go to bed if I don't do my video. But that's not really true because I still do have to go to bed, but then it flips my schedule, my sleep, whatever, gets all messed up because now I'm up all night and sleep all day and all backwards. And I had it the other way around where I was getting up. I was actually up at 9 o'clock in the morning, which may have been my problem because I was up too early. And then I was back in bed like at noon, or 1, I don't know, which I'm like, it's the perfect nap time, except that I stayed in bed too long for that. So anyway, I have no excuses. I am at least willing to own up to my choices. I didn't make the best choices today, but I am grateful that I could write in my journal, that I could see my little free state and see what it is that I'm avoiding, and maybe even reasons why I'm avoiding it. And I could share that in my videos. And I love that little analogy of the the height thing. I don't know that I'm that scared of heights. A little scared of wobbly things, but I don't mind if I'm on a safe surface laying down. That doesn't bother me quite so much, but it works as an analogy for my internal fears, for the changes, for the things that I'm making, because it means I've been facing my fears, I've been making changes, I've been doing all of these things, but it is outside my comfort zone. It's something that's scary to me. It's like that scary excited I could do this, but it's still scary. And then every once in a while I look down, or I become aware of the changes. And I think it's good that I become aware because I can see that I'm progressing, and it helps me to realize that all of my efforts and all the things that I'm doing are actually paying off. So it kind of eliminates that frustration and kind of builds a little bit of the excitement. But at the same time, there's that old subconscious mind of mine that it freaks out, and it's like, what am I doing? I'm putting myself out there. I'm going to be judged. I'm sharing my most personal things about me. Letting go of my secrets, letting go of my safe place, sharing where I've been hiding my whole life. And it's scary. It is, because I need to find me another safe place. I need to create a safe place. But I think I made steps in creating a safe place with my friend yesterday, and putting up some of my decorations and making this place that I'm staying at feel like home and somewhere safe that I can be, which it hasn't always felt safe. Not that it's ever been unsafe, just my own personal emotional triggers that make me feel like I'm unsafe even when I'm in a safe place. So having to work through a lot of those, which has made me grateful for here, to be living here, because it forces me to deal with that situation so that I can be safe and not feel like I'm being triggered all the time. So that's been amazing, all the things that I have faced and dealt with. And so these are good realizations. These are great things that I'm learning and seeing in my videos and even in my journaling. But at the same time, it's a little bit scary for me to be making all those changes. And it's funny because I'm like, it's what I want. I'm pretty sure it's what God wants me to do because it's been working and all the effort's been paying off. But at the same time, it's still an adjustment. It's still outside my comfort zone, even if it is a positive outside my comfort zone. And it's just going to take some time to adjust to, I guess, my new normal. That's a weird terminology. People are saying that. Um, it's just going to take some time to feel comfortable and confident in myself and sharing myself and sharing my stories and making these changes more permanent. Because I mean, I like seeing myself do stuff and I'm like, oh, this is cool, this is awesome, stuff is getting done. But it's also exhausting and I'm tired, and it's so easy to just stick with my old habits of what I've been doing, except that I know what I've been doing doesn't work and it hasn't been working, and it creates a lot more frustration for me than the changes that I'm making that make me feel a lot better about myself, that make me feel like I can do things, that things will work out, and I feel much more upbeat and hopeful, and I like that a whole lot better. But it's finding the balance. It's getting myself to do things when I don't want to do them, and I know I can because I have. Um, it's just continuing doing that like I'm doing with my videos. So I know it's just going to take time for all of that to sink in. And I know that it is slowly sinking in, and that I am not staying depressed or falling into a state of depression. I don't feel horribly depressed. I'm not beating myself up a whole lot. I mean, I did focus a bit on the things that I wasn't doing or could have been doing or should have been doing, and then just letting myself off the hook because I was tired and because I've done stuff like all this week. It's been hugely exhausting, and I can't believe I've managed to have the energy to be that productive all week. So I kind of feel like I needed a crash day, and I did crash. And so I'm not really upset about that. A little annoyed that I stayed up as late as I did because I wrote in my journal several hours ago, so I'm wishing I was asleep instead. But grateful that I can still be gentle with myself and know that I can still improve, and that this day, just because it didn't go the way that I wanted, or didn't, I let my fears get in the way or for whatever reason, and I played the avoidance game, which is not healthy. But in spite of that, I still feel hopeful for the future. I still know that I'm making changes, making progress. I'm just in the process of adjusting to all of the changes, and that takes time too, and that's okay. And I could still love myself, be gentle with myself. I still know that God loves me and that things are going to work out one way or another. And I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for those little tender mercies, those little miracles, those little reminders that it's okay. And hopefully that means that it won't last like forever, that I can have a positive spin and not have to feel like depressed or discouraged because I I had a crash day, I had a bad day, of whatever you want to call it day, and I'm still okay. I survived, so I will live to see another day. Yay! Anyway, that's kind of my crazy for today, and that's all that I have. So if you like these videos, you're gonna hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude, and maybe do some writing.